publish in a journal, the journal is less well evaluated when the writers, the authors that are publishing there are from the university that the journal is. I don't know if it's endology and endo. I don't know the exact expression, but the journal is more best evaluated when it gets national and international authors to publish there. So if you can go out of your university that you first had college on at the first opportunity, you probably will get a better career just because of this criteria of endology. I don't know the exact word for that. Ento, I don't. The word doesn't come. I don't know. Okay. So the one tip that this page has that is very good, that there is no dull problems. Any problem can be a good problem if studied in sufficient detail. So you can study butterflies in Babylon. If you study a little, this problem will be dull. If you study very much in very much detail, this problem will become very rich and more interesting. Okay. This one thing scares me. Ai. Okay. There are some tips to international scholarships. Here in Brazil, you can search in the CAPES site, FAPESP, FAPEMIG, FAPERJ. I don't give this advice because the RJ state is falling apart. The guys did not get to receive the 13th salary from last year, so I don't think FAPERJ is working anymore. UERJ had this problem. They suspended the elective year for indeterminate time because they aren't receiving any funding. Okay. Tips about your supervisor. He's God to you. Don't don't get a fight with him. Okay, just kidding. He says that you are going to work with him 3 years abroad, but here in Brazil, it usually gets 4 years to do a good doctorate degree, 2 years to do a good master degree, and when you get some time from your work, usually there are 3 years to professors do the doctoral degree because of the bureaucracy and the, I don't know how to say afastamento, but to technicians the deadline is one, to professors the deadline is another, and to 18. Ah, tá, okay. But of course, the administration can deny. Okay. Before it was only 3 months. Oh, okay. Mm, uh, to professors to go out to the doctor degree, we had 36 months, and the technicians had if I don't I'm not getting going wrong, is 48 months at the time that I was making my doctorate degree. But okay. Equipment. Okay. He gives the advice of buying good equipment, buying a good notebook or desktop computer, buying a good printer, buying a good software if you need to, because you have to work with this equipment for a while. And he makes a joke that there are some colleagues that can print with a matricial printer and an old desktop, but he thinks that these people are beyond salvation. Okay. This section, making bricks, is about writing good papers for people to rely on your papers and construct a good series using your pieces of theory. Okay. And when you are writing, at least I think this is the way that a hard sciences guy think. He thinks that you have to be twice as explicit as seems necessary. So you have to be very, very didactical to get understood by the community. This is a hard sciences guy thought. When I first read Foucault, Guattari, Deleuze, and this kind of guys, I saw that it seems that in the French Academy, the less we understand the guy, the better he is. I don't know how is this area's culture, but you can see it varies between the disciplines. Mm-hmm. 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 Ah. Mm-hmm. 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 Synthetic. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Nice. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm.
more ignorant too, because you not you can only look for one perspective. Another point is necessary to understand the situation. Or this is the big difficult between the French and the German to the British or American.
Okay. Yes.
Which is kind of difficult to understand.
And beyond difficulty, they have very long treatises that influence other colleges and master and doctorate degrees around the world. So if you pick a philosophy thesis in Unicamp, they get writing 300, 400 pages when I don't know, 200 pages could be enough to understand a subject. But who am I?
And they go as the British, Auditório, and all these people think, oh, let's think about the mark. And not the mark starts in the industrial civilization and all our economic situation is caused by this. Forget all the bad. I think the other opinion is that use the historic perspective that this is the great point of the research in Germany, the method of research from the Germans. They can be able to 200 years, no, 2,000 years, and so they have the mark, but the mark isn't here in the society, and they start a great discussion about this book, and the British and the Americans use this technique to apply to the world the position and use this in on paper.
Okay, nice. That tip about equipment that I gave before, I don't know if it's before or after that point. The author says that when you are testing a good software to use in your work, it's a good way to test it is you have some data that you already know, and you already know the result of the analysis. Then you put this data to the test in this new software that you are testing to see if the algorithm that is working internally to this software is working properly, because some software is new, but you can't see very many evidences in the academic literature that prove that the software is good. So a very good way to test it, put good data and see if the result is good too. So the next advice of this guy is get your first equation right. It's a metaphor to us that we are not from writing in the hard science subjects. You can translate it like write putting bricks around some good premises, like good foundations. If you build your theory in putting blocks on some other blocks that are not very solid, very firm, you can get to points that are not constructive to your work. So this is a metaphor to construct your work on solid foundations. Okay, this advice is good too. You have to read very much, but you have to write even more than you read, because the writing process is a process of systematizing information. So you can read a lot, but just when you start to categorize and when you start to write, that you have a good idea of what you know and what design, how the ideas are distributed around that theory. And when you are reading, you don't have these sets well defined inside your head. Just when you sit to write, that these sets will start to define themselves. This other advice is, sometimes the author is so eager to publish that the data can be wrong. So you have to see if the data is really analyzed in the right way, if the procedures that everybody is using are used also for by that one researcher. So you can't go in the same wrong path as the wrong author. You have to be a little cautious about the things that you are reading. So you will do your research. You will put the research in archives, in folders, or as you wish. But you can't say that the research is always right. So when I already found data when I was writing my thesis that was wrong. Some authors cite wrongly other authors because they put alumni to summarize texts. They don't really read the text. So when they cite the text, there are some citations that are wrong. So when I found this kind of thing, I cited the work and said, oh, the original work is talking this, and this author told wrong things, saying that. So you will archive that information, but you will criticize that information also. This one thing is nice. When you are using papers or books that are very old, and sometimes they are not available in the internet, sometimes you get the paper from the original researcher, and you get something like these notes, these cheerful notes to you to keep going, and this is nice. I got two notes from two authors, and I'm very happy with that. It's like getting a good slap on the back of your grandpa. Wow.
In Portugal. Anyway, she found a book, I said a book that talked about human medicine, and she needed that book. But she couldn't find it anywhere on the internet. And it was very funny because my wife, she has double nationality. She's Italian, and her aunt is Italian. So she asked her aunt to write an email to the author, and the author sent the book for free from Italy to her.
Nice.
She received the copy free.
Wow.
She was very, very, very happy because it was
I received the book just from the Pope of the area. Nice. Very nice. The author of an area that I was working with, cultural patterns, no, cultural standards, from Vienna. After he sent me a email of unpublished categories that he was using, he generously gave this information, and then in the next Christmas he gave me he sent me by email a Christmas card. And then wow, where in the world I would imagine that this could happen? Then this is very nice. Very, it's like they see us Brazilians as courageous people that are trying to make research in a context that does not give us support. So they are very generous with us. We should. Mm-hmm. 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 Yes, they really like us to see us working. Okay. Another tip is when you see an error in your research, try to say to admit this error as soon as possible, because the mess gets bigger. The more you delay your admission of culprit, the mess or the BS gets bigger. So a little humor that this guy puts in the paper is that when you admit an error to your supervisor or to the program that you are in, you don't have to admit an error, for example, to the President of United States when that spaceship blew up. So compared to that one situation, any situation of mistake that you have made is a drop in the ocean. Mm-hmm. And they know what are you thinking about President Port 1. Okay. No, I can be a kamikaze parent, but I'm not. I'm not a terrorist. Okay. I'm a good girl. No, I'm Japanese. I don't like North Koreans. I don't have any relatives in North Korea. Thank God. Okay. Okay. This tip is a little dubious, I would say. He says that it's very good to work in a team with people that you can trust in, but he says also that when we are beginning our research career, we always think that everybody's trying to steal our ideas. And he says that when you go longer in the career, we discover that everybody is concerned only with our research group, their own research theme or etc. And this paranoia does not pays up. And then you have to try to find as quickly as possible your group that you trust in, and try to exchange ideas as much as possible, because when we are writing, when we are reading, or building some categories in our data, it seems very coherent, very intelligent, very smart. But when you exchange these ideas with your own discussion group or research group, the flaws become very apparent, very easy to see. And when you are alone, you can't see these flaws.
That in Brazilian universities, I wouldn't say non-existent, but for example, we have schools. We don't talk about schools in Brazilian universities because it's that for example, if you have a group inside the university, they have a very good idea. Even though you disagree with these people, but they are part of your university, so the university tends to give you support, make this school show up.
This in Europe.
In Europe, yeah.
Okay.
This doesn't happen. People inside the university fight among each other instead of collaborating to make the university better. And that's why they said that in Germany it's very common to talk about Germany it's very common to talk about school of globalization. And in Brazil,
US too, School of Chicago, School of okay.
And here it's a problem. People.
Yes.
As an example here, people from the same area administration that they fight in Facebook. I think so.
Yes. I saw a recent trend in hiring in the private community, private enterprises. In the past, the most important trait that you had to have was intellectual intelligence, was cognitive intelligence. And today, the most important, beyond intellectual capacity, is relational and emotional capacity. And in public service, we don't have yet a good way to measure this. How do you measure emotional intelligence and relational intelligence in a concourse? I don't know how to say it in English. In a test. When I was admitted, what I was measured, the content of my formation, the curriculum that I had, but this one information, emotional and relational, this was not.
It's a big problem in university. You have many. I'm going to give a personal example. I'm graduating history, but after I finished, I joined computer engineering. And I had a huge problem with the professors. Some professors, most professors make me feel disgusted. I'm sorry to use this word, just like that. The way they treated students, I gave up on the course.
Okay.
I said, no, I don't want to do it.
Hard sciences is very normal.
Especially because I was already graduated. No, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to beg. I'm not going to, so that's a huge problem. You see this on hard science courses. You have one student graduating. Outrageous.
Yes.
One or two students.
When I was at mathematics in UFIS, the word that they used to describe the building was echelon, because there was mathematics, chemistry, statistics, and physics in just one building. And there was this echelon, our building, and in the final tests week, it was like Resident Evil, another zombie. That was funny, but we survived. We are here to tell the story. That's okay. Okay, então, so sorry. the guy here, the engineer here, says that secretiveness, to keep your theory, your intellectual luggage secret is always self-damaging. So it's always good to find a group that you identify with, that you trust in, to share your ideas and make a mutual criticizing of everybody's work, because the flaws aren't self-surfacing. They don't show themselves easily. So if you make weekly or monthly seminars, and everybody starts showing their work, the flaws start to appear, and the publishing and everything gets easier. Other advice is that sometimes the idea of a research group is very good, but this group has to give you some autonomy to you do your own research thing, your own research line, because sometimes you only do research for the group subjects, and you don't do your own research. So it gets boring to do research, and your research goes slower because you are not motivated. Sorry. Just a little.